Hello everyone, welcome to the subscription tracker calendar spreadsheet template demo. If you have not purchased this, I will leave links in the description box below so you can go ahead and grab your copy. To get started, I'll show you what the actual copy looks like that you are going to be receiving. Then we'll switch over to the demo copy so I can show you how it works with actual examples in them. This is an example of what the spreadsheet looks like when you receive it. It comes with my information at the top and some icons that you can copy and paste into your spreadsheet, as well as a complete step-by-step guide that you can reference while you are using your spreadsheets. The spreadsheet comes with 3 tabs that are displayed here: the list tab, the subscription tab, and the calendar tab. Let's switch over to the demo copy so I can show you exactly how it works with some examples. Starting with the first tab, which is the list tab, here's where you type in your currencies. If your currency symbol is not the dollar, go ahead and double click on that. Delete the symbol there, type in your own symbol, and it automatically updates throughout the rest of the template. Let's go back here and change this back to dollar. And when we go back here, it has been updated to dollar. This works with any currency. All you need to do is type in your currency symbol and it automatically updates throughout the template. All right, so the next would be your list. And in this list table, we have 2 options. The first would be to type in all of your subscriptions. So here I have different examples of subscriptions: Amazon, Prime, Netflix, Spotify, etc. And this day due, this is when you type in the actual due date for your subscription. So for example, if my Netflix was due the 2nd of December, I will type into here. If my Spotify was due 3rd of January, all I'll do is type in 3 here. So regardless of the month, all you need to do is type in the day that's due and it automatically calculates when we go through the calendar area. The next tab would be your categories. Now this would help you keep track of how much you're spending per category. So try to type in as many categories as possible based on the different subscription types. So for example, Netflix would be under streaming and media, Amazon Prime would be under shopping. So think of all the different categories that apply to all of your subscription types that you have included and that you want to keep track of. All right, so our next tab is our subscriptions tab, and it's a combination of a dashboard area that gives you information about all of your subscriptions, as well as a storage area where you keep track of all your different subscriptions, how much you're spending, and if it's going to be renewed or not. Let's start with the bottom area, and then I'll go back and show you how the top area works with the information you've placed here. So starting with the different subscriptions, here you don't have to type in anything because we have already included this list in the list area. So it automatically pulls the information directly from the list. So basically anything that has this very light color in the cell, you do not want to edit, you don't want to touch. It has formulas and it's pulling information automatically. I'll uncheck these boxes so you can see it clearly. So anything that has this light colored background, you have this one, and this one. The monthly, annual, and the renewal date are automatically calculated for you. All you need to do is fill out your list in the setup area. Once you have that, it pulls in all of the names that you have put into that list. The category would look like this. It does contain all of the categories you've added. All you need to do is select the right category. So Netflix will choose streaming and media, Amazon Prime shopping, Spotify would be, let's say, streaming and media as well, etc. Once the list appears here, select the right category that they belong to. You only need to do this once when you are setting up your spreadsheets. The next column is the billing, and this is where you select if it's monthly, annual, one-time, quarterly, or biannual. So for example, Netflix would be something that would pay monthly. Amazon Prime could be annually because you do have the option of paying monthly or annually. So we'll leave this annually. The gym membership, let's put it at quarterly. The next would be how much you're paying for each subscription. So here we have $20 for Netflix. Amazon Prime, we have $100. Spotify for monthly, maybe change that to $9.99. And health and fitness, gym membership, let's change that to $150. All right, so when we do this, the monthly price automatically calculates as well as the annual price. So for example, for Netflix, that's $20 a month. The monthly price stays at $20 and the annual price is $200. For Amazon price, because we set this as annually, here it calculates how much it will be per month, and of course it stays at $99 for annually because it takes into account that we have selected the drop down box yes annually. So if I were to change this to monthly, for example, you see that the price here would be considered monthly, and the monthly price would be considered $99, and the annual price would be 99 times 12. So make sure that you select the right billing cycle for each subscription, and these are calculated automatically for you. The next is the start date, and this is where you can put the date you started the subscription. So if you do remember the start date, you can put it there. If you don't, you can put in whatever date you want, and this is going to help us calculate the auto renewal, so you can keep track of when you need to renew if you are going to renew. So for example, for Netflix, let's say we started it December 1st, 2023. We're going to auto renew it, so we know that the next renewal date will be January 2024. This basically just helps us keep track of the renewal dates for our different subscriptions. So let's look at the next example, Amazon Prime. We started it December 2nd. You can see that because it's annual, the renewal date would be December 2nd, 2024. That way you can keep track of all of your renewals if you do decide to renew or not. So let's say we decide we're not going to renew Amazon Prime, you can check it off and that date disappears. All right, here you can keep different notes. You started a subscription, that's a free trial, but you do want to cancel it. You can put different notes here. You can come back, check it out, and take action on what you need to do. Now that we've seen the subscription table area, let's review what mini dashboard is going to do for us. This mini dashboard is a way to display how much you're spending per month, per year, and how much spent to date based on each subscription. So let's choose Netflix. When we change this to Netflix, you can see that Netflix, we're paying monthly $20, $240. Annual amount spent to date is only $20 because we started Netflix December 1st. If I were to change this from December 1st to right now, as I'm filming this video, we are in December, by the way. So let's change this to January 1st so that no way we have 12 months. And as you can see, the amount spent to date changes to $240. So this takes into account how much you're spending and also the start date. So if you really wanted to know exactly how much you spent per subscription, you want to make sure that this date is accurate, because that way you can see how much you're spending per subscription, per month, per year, and for the life of that subscription. So you can, let's say, change it to another one, and this information automatically updates. Here it shows you the total amount of money that you are spending for subscriptions. So this is basically the sum of all of the amounts here. So each month for all of your subscriptions, you are spending $238.91. And each year for all of your subscriptions, you're spending $2,866. And finally, we have this area that has the category. So it's very similar to this, where we're looking at individual subscriptions. But instead of that, here we're looking at categories, because we do have all of our subscriptions organized by category. So if we were to go here and change this to health and fitness, because right now we only have a few of them in categories. Let's actually put some more of them in their different categories so the information makes more sense. All right, so we have all of them in their respective categories. When we go here, you can see that the categories we have selected up in this drop down area. So it's not going to show all of the categories in the list. It's going to show only the categories that we have selected here. That way you don't have a long list of categories that do not apply to this table. So for health and fitness, we have gym membership and meal kit. This shows you how much you're spending per month for your gym membership and meal kit put together, how much you're spending per year, and how much you spend to date. It's very similar to this, but instead of looking at your expenses individually, you're looking at them collectively. That way you can easily and quickly see how much you're spending per category, and that would help you make decisions if you want to change things around. All right, so that is that with the subscription tab. The next is the calendar tab, and this is where you keep track of things like due dates. So it's separate from the subscriptions tab, which is just giving you financial information. This is giving you due dates, what's overdue, what's due soon, what you need to pay, what you have paid. And for the most part, this tab is read only. The only thing you're going to need to change in this tab is the dates. So what month you want to view the information. So if I change this to October, for example, and I want my calendars to start on Sunday, I change it to Sunday starts. And then I can change the year to 2023. And it automatically takes the information all of your subscriptions. It pulls in the due dates. All of this pulls in directly from the list. You don't have to touch anything here. It's all automatic. And right now it says all of our bills are overdue because at the point of making this tutorial, we are in December. So obviously all of these bills will be overdue if we haven't paid it. So this is just a visual way for you to see the bills that you have paid and that you haven't paid and what's coming up. All right, so I'm filming this video December 28th. So as you can see, basically all of these bills will be considered overdue because they're before December 28th. This bill's due today, so it's green and it's also bolded. So based on this color code that you can reference here, and anything that's due soon would be green, but without the bold. So let's say I have paid off all these bills. All you need to do is just cross them off so you can keep track of everything you've paid. That way we know, okay, we have this online course that's due today we haven't paid, and we have a meal kit that's due in the future that we haven't paid. Once you cross it off, it crosses off in the calendar. Basically, this is a list form and this is a calendar view of the same list. So if you prefer to see things in list, you can see it here. If you prefer to see it in calendar view, you can visualize it here. There are two ways to use this calendar view. One way would be to use it like this, cross off all of your list, and then you can rename this. This is December 2023. I can duplicate this first, okay? And I can rename this copy December 2023. That way I can save my December view like this. And I can go back to the original and I can uncheck all of these boxes and change it to January 2024. When I change it to January 2024, it automatically refreshes the entire calendar. The same bills show up. Again, the due dates are the same, but right now I don't have anything that's overdue or past due because I'm the month of January, which is in the future, and right now we are in December. And if you wanted to save this at the end of the month, you could also make a copy of this. So duplicate it, and we're going to rename this January 24. Okay, so you can have a different monthly view for every month. That way you have a snapshot of everything you did in December. You crossed off all of the bills you paid and you know exactly what you paid and what you did not pay. Another way to use it would be to use it without making copies. So right now, December 2023, let's say we paid off all of these bills. So I'll just cross them off. We paid everything. So cross everything off. We're done for the month of December. All right. So let's move on to the next month, which is January 2024. All right, so now in January 2024, you can see everything is crossed off. But if you don't want to make a copy of this like we did before, all you need to do is uncheck these boxes at the beginning of the month. So when you switch over the month to a different month, uncheck these boxes because they will not uncheck automatically. That way you have the same screen. You don't have to make duplicates. You can keep track of what you need to do for the month that is currently selected. So it's really up to you. Okay, you can use one view of the calendar. You just have to remember to uncheck these boxes. If you do decide to duplicate this one for each month, then you don't have to worry about checking off, and you can go back and historically see what you did per month per bill. Okay, so those are two ways to do it. You can pick whatever works for you. All right, so that is the end of this walkthrough. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on my website or on Etsy. You can also reach me through my social media handles, which are hyperlinked here. And remember, you do have the step-by-step guide that shows you some of the information that I have already covered in this tutorial, as well as some frequently asked questions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.